Hey guys, today we are driving to Jena to take part at a fun competition called Boulder Bundesliga. The Boulder Bundesliga is Germany's largest climbing league and takes place in 13 different gyms across the country throughout the year. At each gym, climbers can test themselves on 15 boulders in one of 3 leagues, with problems ranging from beginner-friendly V1 to pro-level V10. I'll be competing in the intermediate division, where the problems range from V2 to V5, or 5B to 6C. This video was actually filmed in January 2024, when I was about 10 kg heavier and had just recovered from a COVID-19 infection. So, now that I've got my excuses out of the way, let's dive into the video. I've decided to start with this pink one, as it was one of the easier boulders on the circuit. In general, I'm not very good at slopers, and as you can see, I had a hard time fighting my way up. I still felt stiff after laying in bed for around 3 weeks and was just not in my zone yet. But in the end, I managed to tick it off as a flash, so it was a good start. Next up, there was this rainbow colored boulder, which was very dependent on body position. The left hold was okay once I managed to move over to the right side, and then the 2 upper ones around the corner were not so good, but I was luckily able to hang on. And then I had a quite bumpy move up, and as you can see, I had some problems moving my body weight over my left foot, so I had to press a bit harder there. And then I slowly bent over to the left to the top. After flashing the first 2 problems, I felt ready to try something harder. This yellow one was actually one of the hardest boulders of the circuit, but hard moves on good holes are usually exactly what I like, and also the crimps on the start didn't feel too bad. I was struggling to find the right beater in my flash go, and my toe hooks always felt really close to slipping. But then on the second try, I managed to find a way easier beater, which saved me a lot of energy. And so I managed to get a zone. Trying the start and the lower part of the boulder over and over again were quite energy dependent, and so I started to feel pumped. But every time I tried it, I felt closer and closer, so I was sure I can climb it. But in the end, it was just a bit too hard, and so even if I was really close to the top, I've decided to move on to the next one. After spending quite some time in the overhang, I've decided to move on to this blue slab boulder. The footholds were really good, so it was more about staying close to the wall while pressing up. I'm always a bit shaky on these slabs, especially in competitions if I feel the pressure. But in the end, I managed to tick it off as another flash. Next up, there was this orange boulder with a tricky heel hook start. I saw other people trying different versions, which in the end did not work out for me. Before I've tried the boulder, I thought this is going to be a dynamic step over move. But then in the end, I've decided to take it real slow and not to take any risks. Which worked out, and I've got another top. Hey, thanks for watching this far. I have many things to come on this channel, such as kilterboard sessions, outdoor climbing and bouldering adventures, training progression updates, or even my way of becoming a route setter. So if you want to make me happy, hit that subscribe button and follow my journey. Motivated by my recent success on slabs, I've decided to try this black one next, which had really bad footholds at the start. The holes on the other side were quite okay. So I've moved my way slowly up to the top and earned another flash. I wanted to try something harder before I got too tired, so I hopped on this black one here. The start was quite hard as I had no footholds. And the other holes were not great, but okay. Here was super close, but then decided to chicken out. This boulder was quite on my limit, but in the end I've managed to take another top. This boulder was more balancy, but the holes were all quite okay. Not sure why I've waited so long to try this one, because in the end I think it was one of the easiest of the circuit. This one actually was my favorite, because it was so diverse. From the overhanging chuck to more tricky sections with a cool mantle and a slab in the end. This was the last boulder we've tried on that day. It was super hard and you had to squeeze all the time not to swing out. At this point I already felt pretty exhausted. I had the feeling that every try gets a bit worse, or at least it felt like that. I've tried it together with two friends. And we said we're going to leave at, I think it was 2 p.m. And at this point I think it were like 5 minutes before that. So I quite felt the pressure. This was literally my last go. I think it was like exactly 2 p.m. And I was so super happy that we managed to reach the top, as we then straight jumped into the car and drove like 3 hours back home. I really had a lot of fun on this day with my friends and ended up on place 210 out of 217. With being able to climb 9 of the 15 boulders, of which I managed to flash 6 and get the one zone of the yellow boulder. Now, only 8 months later, I'm able to nearly double my scores and managed to get a place in the top 50 on my last competition. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow my journey and keep being updated about my latest progressions. See ya!